Hello, 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 and welcome back to Module 6, Lesson 1. And I'm just going to do a quick recap and I'm going to explain to you how we are going to pull the last 5 modules together to make this as easy as humanly possible to remember it for the rest of your life. So what I quickly want to recap is what we've already been over. So obviously in Module 1, we went over what sense of self is, and we started to really look into where you're at, and we're going to do that quiz again today, and down below is the link for it. So hopefully in this 5-6 weeks that you've been doing this module and this program, you would have some shift. You would want to hope that you have had some shift in moving along where you are, because you're thinking about things a lot differently to how you were in that first module. And we had a look at the keys to success and how you gain mastery. And we're going to go over that a little bit more this module, but I'm going to make it a little bit different. So we also then looked at what self-image is, and we introduced obviously my narrative around Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and we introduced back then in that module 2 how those people in our lives, how those very important people in how our lives have started to shape us and what we have learnt from them. And we started to really figure out who that image was of us when we were younger. And then we shifted into self-esteem, and we started to look at your first concept, how you acquired your self-esteem and who was mirroring that information to you. And of course, the wicked stepmother was the analogy that I used. And we started to really get a look at not only those historical figures, but that narrative that we had internalized for ourselves as well. And we looked at the research around it as well. And then we started to look at belief systems with self-esteem and belief systems and what we really started to believe to be true. And hopefully then we started to question, challenge, and figure out if that was actually who we really are. And we kind of started to look a little bit more about what self-esteem is, and we did the self-esteem quiz, and hopefully you've got a bit of an idea about what that is. And then we started to really nut down on what belief systems are and how they've started to be formed in your world, and hopefully how you can challenge them and some of the antidotes for them and different parts of the brain and why those belief systems are so they stick, why they're so resistant to shifting and changing, and how we go back to old patterns of behavior so quickly. And we looked at perceptions, and we looked at the way our brain works, and not only the way our brain works, but homeostasis in the way our body likes to keep things the way they are. And so we started to pick on that. Unpick that a little bit. And then we went into self-esteem and then belief systems, and then we went into the ideal self. And we really started to have a look at who we wanted to be, our value systems, and those 7 dwarfs, and how we're going to make them our values. And we really do draw on that in this module as well. And then we really had a little bit of a look at your personality types. And what you hopefully have from that is a really good understanding of that personality that you have now. Doesn't mean it has to be forever, but that's what you have now. So you can work with that and shape and shift and move with that as well. So what I'm going to do from this module onwards, we're going to pull all that together. And how I'm going to do this for you, because I want to make sure, like my narrative around Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, I want to make sure you remember this. I want to make sure that for 10 years from now, you can draw on this information and go, I know how to get back there again, if ever this happens again and you lose your sense of self. So I'm using the acronym MYSELF. And I'm going to break myself down into all the sections over the next couple of days. And we're going to bring all those bits into each of the M, into the Y, into the S, E, L, F. And we're going to pull it together so that you can, at all points in time, remember what myself stands for, and how you can continue to use this for the rest of your life. Because I want this to be lifelong learning for you, and I want you to be able to draw on this course for the rest of your life. That's how important I hope this course is going to be in your life. So let's get started, and I will see you in Module 2.